cleaning vinyl and concrete porches used as work areas. William Hovey Smith, 2012. I'm the author of Backyard Deer Hunting, but sometimes we hunters have got to muck out too.
I'm Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman, and this is the day after Thanksgiving in central rural Georgia. And if you're wondering why I'm not out in the woods right now, look what I'm doing. Time comes about once every 5 years to do some serious work on the back porch, to including repainting to hide and cover some of the accumulated mildew, generally muck out to get all our guy things out of there that have been accumulating for the last several years. Now I had dog damage to my doors, so the screen doors are going to be replaced. We have painted part of the inside. We're going to wash down the rest and wash down the exterior and perhaps even put some paint out there too. So that's what we're up to today. A friend of mine, Paul Presley, has already repainted these concrete block walls as well as the wooden trim around these screens. Now we're not going to replace the screens this year, but am going to wash down the other walls on the opposite side that actually adjoin the house. And I'll show you those now. You can see something of the nature of the problem with the cobwebs accumulating there at the top of the wall adjacent to the house. Here in the spring, we get pollen on this porch, sometimes very badly indeed. In fact, these walls and this floor can turn absolutely green with it. Well, that did not happen this year, so I didn't wash out in the spring as I usually do. You notice the table over here to the right? Well, that table was completely covered with junk from half worked over projects and stuff just put there and forgotten about, and dust and lint accumulated from the dryer blower. So obviously that needs to be cleaned, and it is going to be. Now I have another table over here which has a similar amount of miscellaneous junk on it. Well, believe me, it had much more to start with. So we are mucking out and cleaning up and getting rid of a lot of used things of paint and trash and paper and miscellaneous trimmings and finding some stuff we haven't seen for years. So we're going to get started with washing down this back porch. First thing though, the floor is going to get swept. It's easier to move dry debris than it is wet. So we're going to sweep it out good first before we even start washing down. Now part of this porch is painted, but let me give you a bit of advice. Do not paint an exterior concrete floor. It's a waste of paint. The paint will not last, and as I say, there's no real need to do it. So don't bother doing that. Just wash it down and clean it up. There is our pile of floor sweepings. And it's considerable, considering that we'd already swept the floor twice before. All right, but now things have progressed to the point where we have largely cleared the place out. We removed the two tables, and so we're leaving one work table, my freezer, as well as a refrigerator on the back porch because those are just too heavy for one guy to move. Now what we've got to do is over at this window, there are some old rusted hinges. And so we're going to take those hinges off and clean up that window seat. Well, as is often the case, simple jobs take longer. Well, in drawing these dozen or so screws from these hinges, some of these have been so frozen in for so long that I'm having to actually drill them out. Hence the drill. Use a regular screwdriver as well as my power driver to extract these things with what ought to be maybe 10-15 minutes has now turned into a half-hour job. But such is the way of remodeling in an old house. We have those offending hinges removed now without accident or injury. These hinges were brass plated, and you can see what happens to brass plated steel hardware over time. Yeah, if you have something that you want to stand against the weather, you want the solid brass stuff, not the plated materials. While more hands would definitely lighten the load, one thing you want to do is sweep cobwebs down while they're dry. They're much easier to move and collect then than after you wetted them. Well, we've now started to put some water on the house. Now, because I have live plugs on this back porch, I've shut off the electricity to absolute everything else except the well pump to keep pressure going to the water hose. And as you can see, I'm washing from the top down. To show you a little detail about what's going on, this part I've already washed with just the water hose, and this is slightly wetted but unwashed. And what you do is you take the hose and you put it here and you run along the grain of the wood, or the simulated grain in the vinyl. And if you put it close enough, well, you really start to move some stuff. It may take a couple of passes to get it more nearly clean, but you can do it. Well, I trust that's enough to show you that you can actually do some real good with just a water hose and ordinary pressure for your well pump or city water system. Well, the sun is starting to set. We did not get as far along as I thought we might. But at least we got the wall fairly well washed. And we'll take a look at it tomorrow morning in daylight and see actually how clean we got it. There's still stuff on it. If I had a pressure washer, if I had someone coming behind me with a soap mop or something like that, sure, we could have done better with it. But for one guy with just a water hose, I think we got about as good as we could do. It did improve the look of it considerably. It's considerably whiter than it was. Not perfect, but yeah, we're definitely making progress. We are now day 2 of our mucking out in the back porch. Now what we've done here is wash down this back wall. And with what I've got, I have changed it from absolutely filthy to merely dusty. Now if I had paid someone to pressure wash this porch, yeah, I would have expected a better job. But for one guy using just a water hose, yeah, without anyone to follow up, yeah, this is about the best I can do for now. So this is going to have to do. Now, I'm in the process of moving stuff around and back in the porch, and I'm going to clean it up as I bring it in. Well, it's at the end of day 2. We have about finished the mucking out, and I've got just about everything back in here now. Now, I've rearranged some things. I've moved the table out from beneath that dryer vent so it doesn't get continuously drowned with lint. And I have also uncovered it and put it there, and I'll use that for working. And we also have our workbench here, which is a couple of wooden crates, as you see. And I like this because I can nail to it or saw from it or anything like that. And moved another table over behind it so I can use it to stack stuff in the usual guy fashion. Elimination, yeah, I got rid of 4 chairs that I haven't used for 4 years, so there's no likelihood I'm going to use them now. And so we're making real progress. Now I've got some painting to do on the doors and the steps, but that will wait for another day when the wood has a chance to dry out good, and it will take the paint well. This is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be safe, be ethical, goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.
Besides being the author of Backyard Deer Hunting, I also have Crossbow Hunting, Practical Bow Fishing, and my newest, X-Treme Muzzleloading. Now, all of these are also available as e-books. Now, for more about my books, blogs, videos, and radio show, Hovey's Outdoor Adventures, go to my website, www.hoveysmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.